Now there's 2 horses on the road.
They're Shire. One's a Shire, one's not. How many horses is this? 500 and something?
577.
We fought the horse and the horse won. It's totally fearless. It doesn't care about it.
Yeah, the horse has got some attitude. Let's go back.
1, 2, 3 to the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre's at the door, ready to make an entrance and back on up, because you know we're about to rip shit up. Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know we're in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. 2 lockdown so we're crazy. Death row's the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't fade me.
Why won't it stop accelerating?
Back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so am I going to get him understand? From a young G's perspective, and before me dig out a bitch, I have to find a contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her man and learning her man, and at the same time burning her man. Now you know I ain't with that shit.
Wait, sorry,
there ain't no pussy good enough to get me.
No, I can't get past this bit where they're going to come into my house and rip shit up.
Out of the toilet.
What are you doing? That's the local paper. I haven't read that yet. What are you playing at? Hang on, no, that's the... Oh, man.
Yeah, they're going to rip shit up.
You've lost a bit. That was my water bill. I don't know how much I owe now. I'm going to have to ring them.
At my house, I have a septic tank in the garden. They can rip up dozens of real shits.
I don't think they've thought this through.
Snoop Dogg is duetting with Ollie Murs these days. He'd be quite happy to suck some poos out of my garden for the right amount of coin. Surely.
Do you think this car is cool?
I think in an urban environment it's not.
Oh really?
No. But I think where we are now, yes I do. That's my... I'm just going to say that.
See, I personally don't... I mean, I suppose I know it's cool. I think it is cool in an urban environment. Certainly in the urban environment where I live, in London.
Yeah. My urban
I've had people...
My urban environment, yes. Welcome to my city.
It's got a lot of presence and people seem to like it. Last night...
Yeah, people do like it.
A youngish woman in the passenger seat of a BMW 4 Series gave me a look, and it was a look that was kind of...
What, like she was attracted?
Well, I think she was doing it to the car. In fact, I know she was doing it to the car. But she did a proper kind of... And she was a kind of, like, cool,
she
urban...
Radio 1 Extra?
Yeah, oh yeah, proper kind of like... You know, she probably knows a lot of music that I've never even heard of. Yeah. And musical genres that I'm probably unfamiliar with. Well, and she gave me a proper kind of like
well,
that,
there was
some traffic lights, and I didn't know what to do. I was on the phone to my wife at the time, and I went, "A woman's just given me a look. It's a good look, I think." But
talking of UK grime,
yes,
Skepta. There was one in a Skepta video.
I know who he is. Yeah. That's unusual because I don't know a lot.
There was one parked around the Barbican where he was doing his video.
The Barbican is the epicenter of grime music.
Well, it's actually quite middle class, the Barbican.
Well, you can come up with some dirty beats and then go and see a Derek Jarman retrospective. So it's got all the bases covered.
I like the Barbican.
The Barbican's good. It's incredibly easy to get lost in, though, isn't it?
I did get lost in it. Funny enough.
Everyone gets lost in it.
Yeah, it's concrete jungle.
Yeah, I think I've got a couple of friends who've never left the Barbican. Do you want to go for a drink? Yeah, but we're going to have to do it in the Barbican because I can't get out.
The G-Wagen comes with a tow bar as standard.
Does it?
I love that about it.
Does it?
Yeah.
No way.
Apparently so. It's just, unless you, maybe you delete option it if you don't want it. But I just love
that's not very urban grime artist, is it?
Skepta doesn't do towing.
No, he does. He's got a little boat.
Oh, jet ski.
He goes to just a little boat, a little topper. He goes to Abersock in the summer.
I came out here to view a Ford C-Max gear for my sister-in-law once, and the guy said it was
Ford Sierra then.
No, Ford, sadly not. Ford C-Max gear, and the guy said it was immaculate. And I turned up and got down on one knee. Underneath of it looked like the top of a lasagna. And I just went, this is not good. So I just basically said sorry. And as I was walking away, I clocked in his workshop, he had a Mark 1 Granada that was mid-rebuild, and I wanted to go and talk to him about it, but he'd misdescribed the car I was going to see for my sister-in-law, so I went, I'm just going to leave it there. I always wanted to go back and talk to him about Granadas and didn't.
Hello, untrustworthy man. How's your Granada?
I've never been down there.
I don't know where we
Never
are.
in my life.
Doesn't really matter. There's vegetables. Is that broccoli?
That's broccoli.
It's massive.
Yeah, that's acres of broccoli.
Look how much of a townie I am, because I didn't know that was
You
broccoli.
could park it in a field of broccoli. I can have a really nice big rooster tail piss.
Oh, do you need a Waz?
I do need a
forgot
Waz.
about that. I might as well just go for one.
Look at it. Look, yeah, that is proper broccoli.
Holy shit!
That's, you know, when I unwrap my broccoli and it says Lincolnshire, I know it's
locally sourced.
It is locally sourced.
Right. Oh, there's a fucking farmhouse. Why does this always happen?
There's big time farming going on. What's that? Is that Caballo?
Caballo, I would say. I know what those
Collie?
are.
Is that Collie?
I don't know. I thought maybe. And then
El Dabaj, aka El Cabaj. I used to be, when I worked in a magazine office, a certain colleague of mine used to think I looked like a young El Dabaj. And
who's El Dabaj?
A musician, singer, 80s pop person called. They did the Rhythm of the Night and other stuff.
This is the rhythm of the night.
No, not that one.
That was. Who was that?
Predates that. That was.
That was. Shit,
This is the rhythm of the night. The night. Oh yeah. The rhythm of the night. This is the rhythm of the night. My mind.
Mind?
Yeah, she says. She goes on to then talk about her mind.
I thought it was life. The rhythm of my life.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Maybe it was life and mind.
Rhythm of my mind.
My mind.
My
mind. My open cast.
Rhythm of my mind. This is basically pole dance. I'm trying to think who sings Rhythm of the Night. Is it Corona?
Corona!
Is it Corona?
I think you're right. I think it is, because I kept thinking Cascada and it's not.
Cascada? That's a Vauxhall.
Yes, but also a fairly
Is it a DJ?
terrible sort of.
Is Cascada a DJ?
No,
too?
it was a band. I think they were Scottish. They were one of those bands. I weirdly had one of their albums and I never knew where it came from on CD, because we used to get sent CDs in the Top Gear office.
Oh, I loved getting sent CDs.
But
promos.
But I don't remember. There was no way that I would have gone, oh, the new Cascada album, I'll take that home. So I don't know where it came from.
I can pinch if you want.
No, that's.
I'm not pissing near old women.
No. Also,
that was a piss place.
No, but there were sort of houses.
Cabbages.
I'm a very shy public pisser. I like a bit of privacy.
Oh, what sort of a shell of a man have you become?
I don't know. Well, again, it's a towny attitude, isn't it? Although
I've tried to do kind of careful public place pissing in London. It's now impossible.
Well, yes, and then you famously had to kneel behind a car, which I almost had to do recently.
That was so
proper
desperate.
panic station. There's more fucking houses.
It was behind a car I bought less than 20 seconds after the guy shut his door and I'd paid him. I worshipped the back of my own Mercedes.
Do you know what I find weird about places like that?
Windy.
We're in the middle of nowhere. Look, I mean, there's not another house around.
No, there's people.
But those houses are semi-detached, so your space and silence surrounds you, except for a fucking party wall through which you can hear people listening to drum and bass all night. Or something.
That would be weird, wouldn't it? And you go, "This is not fair."
It's just
I'm going to complain about my neighbour. And you go, why can't you just detach it? You know, like people that commission these BBC Two, BBC One light entertainment, kind of semi-docu but not a docu. You know, Griff Rhys-Jones in a really small boat.
What sort of slightly tepid Sunday night whimsical middle-aged men dicking around,
lukewarm interest at best, and then you think I'm not a millennial. If I was a millennial, I'd go, Griff who's this
Who's
guy
that?
in a small boat, failing to catch fish on a frequent basis, reminiscing about stuff which didn't sound that interesting? What's going on? Who's commissioned that?
It's a bit odd, isn't it?
Well, I
Phil
think
Cool in a hot air balloon, gently floating over Suffolk,
oh,
muttering about things.
he'd be looking, pointing at pumping stations.
It's sort of, it's a genre of programming called middle-aged whimsy, in which stars you thought had disappeared are in fact still able to get programmes commissioned as long as they're a middle-aged white man who just mutters about things with one or two other middle-aged men in
When
tow.
they did grumpy old men,
Yes.
and then they did grumpy young men, and they did grumpy old women, and I think they were brilliant because you understood the premise. That's
Another of those weird houses.
It's a semi-detached house. They have a fence between their garden, and
But
yet
we're in the
there's-
middle of
there's
nowhere.
no other houses.
It's so odd. You'd go, oh, look at this house. Look, it has acres of space and silence around it.
But your
Apart
neighbour,
from a party wall.
but your neighbour's deaf, and all they want to watch is Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Yeah, or your neighbour is Goldie, and he is playing a lot of drum and bass at the moment.
Now, Goldie came up in conversation with someone less than 2 weeks ago, and it was because they own Goldie's ex-Rude Merc's
Do they?
Merc. Yeah,
Ah.
a Cosworth. It's a 190 Cosworth, and it was all done by Rude Mercs when it was nearly new, and it was it was commissioned by Goldie, and apparently Goldie was obsessively into the cleanliness of it.
Really?
And it was kept in one of these the car coupe things.
God. Now, if you'd said to me, is Goldie
Into
meticulous about the cleanliness of his cars, I would have said no.
no, I would have said
he
no.
he
as well.
doesn't mind leaving it. It's full of fag ash and
Oh, there'd be tons of Rizzlers.
yeah,
Bong
loads
water.
of.
There'd be bong water in the car.
It's slopping around in the back. Goldie,
Spilling bong water.
My feet are in bong water back here. What are you doing, man? It's just there's too much. There's too much paraphernalia in this car.
God, I love it. Can you imagine trying to write the sort of auto trader description of an ex-raver's car? I'd love that. Or a early 90s peak rave era DJ's car, because he had money, so he could afford to buy some slick stuff, and he had to move around the country quickly because he was DJing. You know, one night he would be at Alton Towers, next night he'd be in a field in
Alton
Swindon.
Towers?
Yeah, they used to do big things in
Did
the
they?
grounds. Is that pumpkins?
Oh God, yeah. How weird.
There are thousands of pumpkins.
It's very veggie around here, isn't it? They've got a lot of loose tobacco on the floor. Loads of Rizzlers.
Yes. Yeah.
A smell. There's a smell
There'll be
to
some
it.
windows up puffing going on.
Oh yeah,
There-
hotboxing. He's used it as a hotbox.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Blimp burns down in the crotch.
There's a big,
There's a V.
there's a V.
A hot V. Arguably. You know?
A friend of mine
Hot
who used
rocks.
to be a used car dealer said it's amazing how many cars they got in that had the V there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's like, and you know what's been going on? Because by and large, cigarettes don't fall apart while you're smoking them. So that is someone who's spliffing up, but he'd be like, yeah, it's all sorts of cars. You wouldn't sort of go, oh, it's always Novas or something. He's like, loads of different cars, but they just have the distinctive Stoner's V there.
Well, you know why? If it's anything like my mate Dan, he would, if he knew he was going to go for a night of, you know, enthusiast smoking, he'd borrow his dad's car.
Right. But then wouldn't his dad go, why is there a load of...
I think his dad had no sense of smell. My dad doesn't. My dad's lost his sense of smell, but I never even smoked weed in any of his cars, or really at all. So my dad wouldn't have noticed anyway. Should have used my dad's car.
Do you want to borrow my dad's car to smoke a massive bifter in because he has no sense of smell?
Yeah, my dad
That's a
can only
service you
smell.
could have
He
offered.
can't smell gas.
More of a problem.
More of a problem. He can smell. I was chatting to him the other month, and he said there's certain things he can still smell, but by and large, not a lot. Thinners, I think he can smell thinners.
Is that how he gets high then?
He gets his kicks on thinners these days. He's not massively into weed anymore.
Just, yeah, he's a thinner head. He's a skyline of some description.
Completely broken.
Completely broken. Oh, look at the potatoes falling off this trailer.
We are tailgating a tractor with a trailer that is dropping potatoes.
Look, now they've got the right idea. Detached house with room around it.
That is strictly detached. With.
What if you bought that field there and just built a house in it, like about 3 feet from the side?
I don't know what the planning permission of these sorts of areas is like. Is it like Australia where you don't even have to
all
phone
bets are off, yeah.
You just go, I'm going to build a massive swimming pool there.
You just send a letter to someone, just go, hello mate, yeah, just going to build a house here.
Yeah, okay.
Just to let you know.
Okay.
So you can stick it on the map.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there must be a bit of all bets are off round here because, I mean...
Are you going to try and have it? It's a bit narrow.
I'm doing an inside line on him, there we go, see?
Dirtbag.
I didn't want potatoes falling on my car. I can't deny, something about round here makes me feel a little bit uneasy.
Oh, it's the flatness. It's
yeah, but I like flatness. I'm from Cheshire. I'm comfortable with flatness, but this is big flatness.
I live in Lincolnshire, but I don't live in a flat bit. When I come out to the Fens and when I go out to Norfolk, I'm positively terrified of just the sheer flatness. I don't
really.
Like
no, I find this majestic. I like a big sky, but it's not what's going on. This it's the sense that there's a lot of murdering goes on. I think that's what weirds me out.
It's funny you should say that because I tried to describe sort of the feeling of living around here, and I said to somebody, it'd be like you can see the axe murderer as far as the eye can see. You can see him, like he'll be shuffling like a zombie really slowly. He'll have a Mac on, and he'll have the huge fire axe, those American style fire axes. But the other thing is, you know he's a good 25 minutes away from getting anywhere near your garden.
Oh, I see, that's a good point.
Because it's all flat, there's nowhere for him to hide.
But I was thinking also that you would, you'd be, someone would say to you, oh, I tell you what, if you stand on that wall, you can see the site of 5 different murders.
Oh, did you see that?
What?
It said pumpkins for sale, but it was P-U-M-K-I-N.
Pumpkins. Pumpkins.
It's a pumpkin, isn't it?
We're selling some pumpkins.
I tell you what, it's going to be Halloween soon. We're going to throw all the pumpkins out, all the kids are going to haul them out, and we're going to light them, and we're going to talk to spirits and that. But that's West Country. That's not here.
Yeah.
And I can't do here.
It's definitely different, isn't it? And people do sort of conflate the two, and they're not at all similar, really. But then, actually,
it's cheap land around here. If you want generous garaging, this is the place to live.
But that's sort of where I feel like you've come out here for space, and the sense of space, and the sense of huge landscapes.
But you don't want it because it's scary.
And yet, yeah, people sort of, they band together in villages like this because it's frightening.
Yeah, because it's like people that buy a stately home and they only live in 4 rooms of a 40-room house because they want to feel cosy. Oh, Wapload.
Wapload.
Wapload is where the MG garage is.
Oh, Wapload sounds like how you would write down the sound that's made by going, like Gordon Ramsay always does. Gordon Ramsay's always going, you've got to make the fish. And that is a Wapload. He's Waploading. It means slapping your palm with the back of your other hand.
Yeah. Now, it wasn't a nighttime dream. I guess it was a daydream that I had the other day.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart is promoting his new material.
Yes.
Which is terrible.
I haven't.
I'm sorry, but it is.
Okay.
And he was interviewed on the radio, and he brought his wife along.
The lovely Penny Lancaster.
Of course, and he kept saying, oh, and Penny doesn't like it when I do that, and me and Penny, and for some reason I was a bit bored, but I was listening. It was in background radio syndrome. I was trying to do a normal day's work. Just for a minute, I thought that Rod Stewart was married to Penny Mallory, and I thought. Would that be? How would that work? How would that work?
I don't know. They could have a loving relationship. I mean, he quite likes a car, doesn't he? He used to have like Countach's and things.
Yeah, he likes a motor.
Lambo man.
He spent a lot of money on motors. Yeah, mostly Lambos.
So
I don't know what he currently tools around it. I bet he's got a Bentayga.
She would be a useful ally, rather than going, what have you spent your money on now, Rod? What have you done that for? It looks stupid, it's so noisy. She's going to go, oh, brilliant, Rod, that's great. They're absolutely fabulous on-limit handling as well. Really benign, but you can get it moving around. Lovely, love it. A throttle response to die for. Beautiful, beautiful mid-range torque on it.
Could be a good
Thanks, Pen. That's great. Yeah.
He's about to order. He's about to put his name down. Watch out, on a Urus.
Unless, of course, it flips the other way and she comes home and goes, now, Rod, what I've done is I've ordered us an Audi Q8 because I wanted an SUV, but I like the slightly more sporty orientated handling. Why have you done that for, Pen? We don't need one of those. I've ordered a Urus as well. It's the same platform, Rod.
Yeah.
What? Oh, it just makes it worse.
I just didn't realise. You want to go that way?
Okay. There's another MG.
Oh my goodness! This is the world of cabbages and MGs.
Cabbages and MGs.
What?